Well, welcome back, everyone, to the podcast. Guess what podcast this is?
The Christmas episode.
It is. You know what my sweater says? Do you know what it says? I don't know. Oh, you have to say it because there's people that aren't watching. It says, "Let's get lit." L-I-T. And it's lit. The Christmas tree on my sweater is lit. And now that I say lit, I'm a verified and legit youth pastor because I'm lit. And what's yours say? Feliz
Navidad.
I love it. I love it. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy Christmas to those across the pond. Did you know that they say Happy Christmas?
No.
They don't say Merry Christmas?
Kind of weird.
I just shared some knowledge with you. They say Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas. I'm so excited to be here. Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year. Let's go. I love a good Christmas tree. And listen, y'all. Please, if you want to say stuff in the comment about the Christmas tree and the origin of Christmas and you want to get into that debate yourselves in the comment. Don't
Tony,
debate
don't
with me.
even open up that can of
I'm just
worms.
saying, I just say because I love a good Christmas tree and I know that doesn't sound holy and I know there's a whole branch of our peeps out there that are going to tear that apart.
Oh my.
I love a good Christmas tree. I love a good scene in the yard. I love putting up I like my little nativity scene I put up. Then I have the Grinch because we do Grinch.
My
Grinchmas
boys
here.
are totally into Grinch.
Oh, I love Grinch.
Yeah.
And it's a cultural thing, so I'm sorry. I know that doesn't translate to everyone, but the Grinch is amazing. And again, debate yourselves in the comment. Don't debate with me. I love Christmas. So, with that being said, Brianna, what is your favorite Christmas gift you ever received?
Okay, I have two.
Okay.
My oldest son is actually born on December 2nd.
Okay.
So I got to bring him home, just a few weeks before Christmas. And I remember feeding him in the middle, you're doing night feedings and all that stuff, by a lit Christmas tree at every hour of the night, trying to memorize his face. I mean, a baby at Christmas.
Let's go.
It's one of my favorites.
And when were you born? You were born close to Christmas too, right?
The 23rd. So
Yeah.
I myself am a Christmas baby.
Let's
so
go.
There's something special about babies at Christmas.
Side note, in your family, how many December Christmases are there?
Oh my.
Isn't it like June and then December or something?
June and December, but in between late November to early January, there are 13 birthdays.
13.
13.
That's wow.
And my anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah. And
You got married? I didn't know that.
December 1st, we got married.
What?
December 2nd, we had Theo.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were born December 23rd.
23rd. And then Christmas Eve, we're locked and loaded.
There's a lot going on in your family. I bet it's a really fun Christmas. I'm sure that's large, right?
It's huge.
How many people sorry, we're going to start the episode, promise. but I love Christmas, so I like to get to know this stuff. How many people come over for Christmas? Or like maybe not come over, but in your family during a Christmas gathering?
Extended family comes, all that.
How many
Easily
people?
25.
That's amazing.
For Christmas Eve is our big one. My grandparents have hosted Christmas Eve, and there are Christmas games and trivia and all the food. It's a full event. It's not just Christmas dinner.
And how many of those are under the age of 8 or 8?
Now?
Or wait, are under what, 12?
No, 8.
8?
Yeah,
right?
Jess.
8.
Yeah. Well, Jesse, Ezra, and my 3 boys, and my niece and nephew. Yeah, 7.
7
yeah.
under 8. 7 under 7? I don't
7
know.
under 8, yeah.
Could there possibly be 6 or 7 of them? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't see what I did
Youth
there.
pastor.
I'm such a youth pastor today. Sorry, my inner youth pastor is coming out. I'm a little old. I can't wait till I'm actually 67, and hopefully I'm still a youth pastor
it comes
67.
full circle.
It's gonna be amazing. I'll be up there 6, 7. They're gonna be like this old
They'll
guy.
be rolling your eyes so hard.
That's amazing. Well, Brianna, it is Christmas, and like I said, it's such a wonderful time of the year. Yes, I love the Christmas tree. Yes, I love the lights. I love getting a little silly for an episode. I love this time, but most of all, I love it. And I'm going to get churchy here. So sorry. Here we go. We're starting our podcast.
It's a church podcast.
It's a church podcast. We're going to talk about Jesus. I really am. I love the celebration of Jesus as Savior. I was writing this thing today because I have to do a sermon about Jesus, and I wrote Baby Jesus. Have you ever seen, what's that movie?
Talladega Nights.
Sweet and he prays the baby Jesus. It's hilarious. That's why I love Sorry, but
right.
sidetrack.
Yep.
Okay, back on track. I love baby Jesus. I love Jesus coming into the world. I do. I just love this season.
Yeah.
It's like this hope. It's this time where everybody, whether you're a Christian or not, there's kind of this sense of awe.
Yeah.
I call it reverence. I don't know if they have reverence for Jesus, but there's this awe that's released upon at least the state. I can talk about Orlando. I'm not sure about where you guys are, but in general, it seems like people, there's this peace that happens. There's a hope. There's a hope.
Yeah.
Family are getting together. We're remembering. We're coming off of Thanksgiving, which Thanksgiving is kind of like that.
It's cool.
It's cool. I love it, but it can be like up or down. It can be like a little wild. It's a little wild.
It could go either way.
It can go either way. Christmases seem to be a time where everyone kind of slows down, and it's just like you appreciate the gifts of Jesus. You appreciate the gifts that God's given you, and I know we signify that by giving gifts and things like that, but it seems to be this time of year where is that one time where we all sit around. Hopefully you do as well, people out there, but we all just take that moment. I catch myself every Christmas and just think, man, my life is pretty good. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way, but when I'm sitting around and I have my family around or I have my friends around, I think about my salvation. I see Jesus. I see the nativity scene. I see the manger. I've been to multiple Christmas things. I'm like, man, life is pretty good.
You just let gratitude like bubble up inside of you almost, right? Like it doesn't get any less busy. It doesn't get any less chaotic, but I've also tried to through the 13th, through all the birthdays
13,
and all
7, all that stuff. Yeah.
You try to take that moment to, it's like, God, you're so good.
Yeah. And you've been so gracious to me. Before we move on, I just had an idea.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Christmas movie? And what are your 3? Do you have, I have a few. I shouldn't say 3. What are the Christmas movies that you have to watch for nostalgia reasons?
Okay. There will be haters about this. Throw
in
it
the
in
comment
the
section.
comments.
Go after each other. It's fine. Don't go after me or Brianna. Go after each other. Go.
Being a Christmas baby, it's been not my favorite activity, right? Because it always feels like Christmas starts at the beginning of December. Christmas music, everything, and then like the
happy birthday,
and then happy birthday, and then like more Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been in my latter years that I've started to appreciate, like as I've had my own kids, the traditions and those moments. So, The Grinch, the new animated one, I like because my boys like that one.
I haven't watched it.
It's good. It's very cute.
I boycotted it because it's not.
Jim Carrey. No, the Illumination one is very good.
What?
It's by Illumination.
Oh, okay.
The
I thought
studio.
That was a movie.
No, Grinch.
What are you talking? She's pulling out stuff that's not made up. You're making this movie up.
Okay, The Grinch.
Okay. By Illumination One, the
Illumination.
studio. Okay, got it.
Elf, because Will Ferrell's hysterical. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then my new one I just watched for the first time is called The Star. It's on Netflix.
The Star.
It's brand new.
Okay.
It's about this donkey.
Okay.
Who the only thing he wants to do is be like in the royal procession, and he wants to be important.
Okay.
And he ends up being Mary and Joseph's donkey.
Oh. And animated, right?
Animated.
Okay.
And it's really good.
Glad it's not live action. I have a problem with that.
It's really funny.
Okay.
It's from of one time through, pretty biblically accurate.
Okay.
They like piece it together in a way where it keeps kids' attention. Watch it. Go home. It's a good one.
The Star.
The Star.
Okay. Is that it? That's the only ones you watch?
Those are like top 3.
Okay,
those
sorry
are like
guys.
some good ones.
In the comments, you can destroy those. Those are okay. I'm joking. Number 1 is A Christmas Story.
Okay.
Part 1 and part 2 now. Part 2 is actually quite good if you watch it from the standpoint of it's the prequel of the story. It's amazing.
Okay.
Have you ever seen part 2? Have you seen A Christmas Story in general? No. You'll shoot your eye out.
I know the reference. I didn't do Christmas
Brianna
movies. I told you.
At gmail.com. Subject line. What's the matter with your movie taste? So
Christmas
Story.
Baby. Christmas baby. That's the reason.
Okay. So Christmas Story. Not 2, but throw in 2 just for it's a good one. Second one is Home Alone.
Home Alone was totally on my list, and I forgot because classic.
My favorite, though, is part 2. Part 1 is my second favorite.
Is 2 where they go to Paris?
2 is where he ends up in, and he ends up in New York.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, he ends up in New York. They end up in Miami is part 2. Paris is number 1, where they go to Paris and he's at home.
Okay.
So part 2 is my favorite. Part 1 is my second favorite, but just Home Alone in general.
Yep.
And then obviously the Grinch live action with Jim Carrey. Hilarious. I do like the Elf. I'll watch that once in a while.
Yep.
And then I like any of the Charlie Brown things that go on.
Okay.
Yes. So those are kind of my favorite. I thought we'd just throw some fun in there.
Something nostalgic about it.
Before we get into the churchiness of what we're about to do. So we were talking about the peace, right? The peace of the season. And really, we're in the series of the God Behind the Name and the podcast series God Behind the Name. And we're talking to people and we're sharing testimonies. And today, everyone, drum roll. It is Brianna as guest sharing her testimony and how God has revealed himself to her. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how God revealed himself to her as peace, as Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace. And it's such a fitting time to do it for this episode because we are in this time of peace, like peace on earth and goodwill to men. That's part of a song or something. I don't think that's in the Bible, right?
Peace on earth is.
I know, but like that whole thing, isn't that not a song?
Well, look it up.
I don't know. I feel like I just said something I'm not sure of. But peace on earth, goodwill to men. I think that is a song or whatever, a poem. But we're in the season where there's peace and, or the idea of peace.
Yes,
there's wars and stuff going on, whatever. So, Brianna, I know it's always hard to talk about ourselves. It's hard to, especially when you're the one that's kind of leading things, to be in the quote unquote hot seat.
Yeah.
So thank you for being vulnerable and sharing with us. So why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about this testimony, like from a 30,000 foot viewpoint of how God revealed himself as Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think the biggest thing is, so this was back in 2021. I was working here at the church. I was the communication director here. I already had Theo, my first son, and I was pregnant with my second. And so Preston was born in August, and then I came back to work after my maternity leave. And so every year Focal Point does a annual staff retreat where you get away as a staff and you project and plan for the year that's upcoming. But on top of that, it's not just budgets and planning. It's that let's go together and let's have those extended time in prayers. Let's have the devotionals. What is the Lord wanting to say about everything, not just what we talked about, right? In previous episodes of like, God bless it. It's Lord, what are you doing and how can we join you?
Yeah.
Amen. We practice what we preach. I love it. So
who would have thought?
I am fresh back to work, maybe a month. Yeah. And we go back to this retreat. And so we're doing budgets and we're having these devotionals, and it's several days, this staff retreat. And after one of the devotionals on day 2 or 3, I just feel like the Lord is prompting me to have a conversation with Pastor Mark. There's some things going on at the house. My husband, who works at Universal, is a mechanic, and at this time, he was either working second or third shift. And so somebody...
Which means what? What hours?
Night shift.
Okay.
So he's leaving at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, coming at 6 or 7 in the morning, sleeping all day. I'm working.
That lazy bum.
I mean, you just realize how hard it is, not just on him, but on an entire family with not even a toddler. Really, Theo is...
really.
Yeah,
Theo's on the way, right?
Yeah. Theo's a year and a half.
Yeah.
And so you just realize and I'm working and juggling, and there's some stuff going on with Sebastian that we're dealing with. And so I talked to Pastor Mark about what I feel like the Lord is prompting. And he says what you never want to hear of, let's set up a meeting. And you're like, oh,
why does that scare us so much? When it's like, can we talk? Let's set up a time that we can talk. And it's like, oh gosh, what did I do?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think there was some semblance of this was going to be give me an answer.
Oh, okay.
And he says, let's set up a meeting. I want to pray about this. And you're like, oh, I'm afraid of what the Lord's going to tell you.
Right.
And so Pastor Kelly and Pastor Mark, we end up meeting a few days later, and they confirm what I think is my worst fear, that the Lord is calling me to stop working. Whew, and
It's rough.
But
well, say, why would that be rough for you to hear that from God? I think I know, but
yeah,
I felt it when you said it. For me, why I would feel that way, but why would you have that pause?
I think it hit the place of, I'm a new mom.
Yeah.
We've been married a few years. This is who I am. It's what I do. It gives me, it's working.
Working is what you do.
Working and being a graphic designer and doing photography. And it's everything I've done for so many years. And there's this scary pressure of like being responsible for a human 24/7, 7 days a week, where it's not family watching Theo. Now it's me. And now we're about to have 2 kids. And it just starts to hit some of that, like, Lord, what are you feeling purposeless,
right?
Not feeling important,
right?
Like all of those things it just hits that place immediately.
Yeah.
And so Pastor Mark and Pastor Kelly confirm, like, yeah, I think you're supposed to be at home with your family for this season, is basically how they say it. And Pastor Mark, I love you so much. If you're watching this by happenstance, by chance.
By the way, just side note, I found out he's starting to listen to podcasts.
Ooh, we're doing it.
Let's do it.
But he so graciously gives me an extra nudge out of the proverbial nest and says, I'll give you 2 weeks. You no longer work at Focal Point.
Oh, wow.
2 weeks to wrap it up. I love you. You're going to be a stay-at-home mom.
Wow.
And so it was that extra confidence and confirmation by God's grace, right? He wasn't being mean or anything. It's like, hey, you know that the Lord's calling you to do this. I'm going to help you do this. You got 2 weeks. Wow.
Yeah.
And so all the questions.
It's becoming real at this moment.
You have no idea.
Like, you can't stop the train. It's left the station.
I mean, all the thoughts.
You knew it was going to. It's that moment of, in anything where something starts to happen, you were ready. You're getting ready for it. You're thinking about it. You're talking about it. And then it takes off. That's a scary moment, no matter what the decision is, whether it's staying at home or insert whatever.
Right.
You're like, this is actually.
It feels like it takes your breath away.
We're going this way. Yeah.
And then you add on the fact that I provide half the income.
Yeah.
So now this isn't not just not plausible. This is impossible.
Yeah.
I carry half the bills, half the income. We are bringing we just had our second son, right? So when the Lord does this is 3 months after I have Preston. Mm-hmm. So I have a newborn at home. I've got a toddler at home. So talk about every thought that is like, this is not responsible. Mm-hmm. What is the Lord going to do? How's he going to provide? Mm-hmm. Everything feels like it is just swirling. Mm-hmm. But I know that this is what the Lord is doing. Mm-hmm. And very quickly, every fear, every thought, everything starts to set in. Mm-hmm. And there's one day I'll never forget, because I'm worshiping. Worship is one of the weapons that I use to kind of settle my soul, settle my mind. I'm fighting everything, saying, Lord, I want to trust you, but how? Right. Lord, I know you will provide, but how? Right. What's that step? What do I do? All these things. I just thought after thought after thought. I cannot settle down. And then on top of that, I gave up my career. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've lost every bit of who I am, identity, autonomy. And now this is how I feel, right? Perception. Mm-hmm. I feel like a doormat. Mm-hmm. I barely see my husband. I do laundry. I do dishes. Everything feels like it is just endless. Yeah. And it's like, Lord, I know you did not call me home for this. Yeah. What is this? Yeah. You feel useless. Mm-hmm. And all of these thoughts are slamming me. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, Tony, it probably looks so pathetic. I'm crying as I'm washing dishes, as I'm listening to worship.
I've came home many a time. Sorry, babe, I'm going to tell on you. Because my wife was a stay-at-home mom, and I've come home and there's moments, keep going.
Go ahead.
Where you're about to say you're washing the dishes and you're crying.
I'm weeping over my dishes as I clean out baby bottles and scrub my dishes. My wife. And I'm sitting there in a silent sob. And Sebastian's sleeping because of his work schedule. So there's no one to comfort me. And there's this worship song playing in the background, and it's a song called Peace. It's by Hillsong Young and Free. But basically one of the lines in the song is, peace is a promise that you keep. And I just, in that moment, in my very soul, felt like it was that peace be still moment of like everything you hope for your future, every worry, everything. It's like, it's a promise.
Yeah.
And up until that point, if I'm being really honest, I felt like peace was a good idea. Like I knew that as a Christian, I could have peace.
Yeah.
There were moments that I would like touch peace.
Right.
But I didn't know that it was a position that I could stand in. And so when I heard that line in the song that said, peace is a promise you keep, that changed the trajectory of my prayers during that season. So even those moments when I was crying over the dishes, it was like, no, you promised peace. So all the thoughts that I feel like I can't get under control, peace be still. And it was one of those things that I think just absolutely changed the way that I looked at my situation.
So let me ask you, do you feel like, how many years ago was this? 21, so 4 years
21,
ago?
yeah.
4 years
Preston
ago.
turned 4 in August.
So do you feel like you're all the way through on the other side of this? Like you have victory in this? Or you have this as your foundation, Jehovah Shalom? Or do you...
Yeah. I would say...
Or do you think, is he still working it out?
Good question.
Yeah.
I think in every believer's walk, there can be a breakthrough, and there will be moments in your life where he uncovers a new layer, where he's asking you to go to the next level of peace or of trust. And so you realize, like, as I mature in Christ, he will continually bring up some of these things to say, hey, take that next step. But yeah, there was almost like that breakthrough in that moment. It wasn't just a momentary peace. That revelation of like him meeting me crying at the sink, it was that experience that revealed who he is. Yeah. And so it took months for me to settle into being a stay-at-home mom. And that was something I clung to. I had to hold on to him being peace. But you realize it's like there was breakthrough that came where it was like there was peace over the situation, where I'm not scrapping for my daily peace. It's like he comes in and he is peace. Right. Because now I'm standing in a position of peace, not just hoping for peace in a moment.
So it's a very interesting thing when you say, you talk about peace, and I'm going to ask it this way by making a statement about how I've experienced it and see if this is maybe relatable. Like I've gotten to know God as Jehovah Shalom, as the God of peace. But what I've had to learn, or what he's had to teach me, it's not that my situation is going to be peaceful or peace filled. It's that I'm going to be at peace in him, and I'm going to be at rest in him. Yeah. Does that resonate? Is that something you experienced during this time where you were like, he's teaching you the peace, but were things still kind of chaotic? I mean, I know you got 2 boys, and yet you had another one coming on soon after this, right?
Not much longer after. I had 3 under 3.
Right. So like back to back.
Yeah.
That's a 4th. I'm not prophesying over you in Jesus' name. Sebi, I'm not prophesying
3's
over
enough.
your life.
Thank you.
I don't know, but maybe. But you know what I mean? Like, did you find like things settled down, or you know what I'm getting at? Like, or did it continue on for you during this time?
Let me answer it this way. There were 2 words specifically that the Lord gave me. Right. Number 1, yes, he met me as peace, but more specifically, he showed himself as the peace that surpasses all understanding. Yeah. And it's like, you realize for him to surpass all understanding in peace means that you're not in a moment where everything is quiet. Yeah. Peace that surpasses all understanding is peace in the midst of chaos. Peace that can surpass your ideas about it means he's meeting you when you should not have peace. And that's where I found myself. I mean, like you said, 2 boys at home, Seb on some kind of weird 3rd shift schedule, me being a stay-at-home mom, doing everything so that when Sebastian is awake, we can spend every moment we have together, cooking all the dinners, laundry, dishes, all the things, right? And on top of this, not having an income, worried about how we're going to pay bills, needing a new roof. And not only do I
Oh,
not
the
have,
hurricane was coming around this time. Yeah. Was this after the hurricane or before?
yeah, it was after.
I
I
feel like I went through the same thing.
Yeah,
That's
we
why
had had
I
a
just
hurricane.
realized, yes, I had to get
Yeah.
I think I might have had to get a new roof around this time.
So
maybe.
So it's like, so then you realize not only are the finances not there,
Yeah.
now we need additional resources.
And you sent a hurricane, God.
You just feel like when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
So you're like, Lord, how can this be true?
Yeah.
And it's like he met me as the peace that surpasses all understanding.
Wow.
As I fixed my eyes on him, it didn't mean that my world got any less chaotic, but in the midst of chaos, he could be peace.
Because I think too, like we see the imagery of Jesus in the boat with the disciples.
Yeah.
And he's fast asleep. That's what peace is. He's asleep. He's at peace. He's Jehovah Shalom. In the midst, he's sleeping in the midst of the storm.
Yeah.
But the disciples didn't understand that was the peace. So they woke him up. Aren't you afraid we're going to die? He's
We're gonna die.
You guys, little faith. He said, peace be still.
Yeah.
And the waves calmed and the storm subsided. We read that story and think that's the peace that we're asking God for.
To just silence a storm.
To silence the storm.
Right.
What we should be asking, and our goal should be, is give me Jehovah Shalom, the Jesus that is sleeping in the boat, the Jesus that is so at rest in the purposes of God that he knows that this isn't the end. This isn't how it ends for him or the disciples. Doesn't matter how much water is coming in the boat. It doesn't matter any of this.
Right.
But so you know that I am God.
Yeah.
Peace be still. And he will quiet the storm. He will quiet it to show his power. But that's not the main goal. The main goal is to find the shalom in the boat where I can sleep. I'm at rest when it's rocking and waving and dishes and laundry and bills and roof and car payment and food, and never mind the interpersonal dynamics of a newlywed couple with 2 or 3 kids under 3.
With identity being stripped and
all of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you pray through this time of chaos?
So the Lord gave me a picture,
and
it was actually David standing before Goliath, which you very naturally go to Jesus in the boat. Very fitting for peace be still. But during that time, it was during a prayer time, he showed me that it's like David really had to stand before the giant. The giant was not an illusion. It was not a figment of his imagination. David had to look.
He's 9 feet tall.
David had to look that giant in the face. But what the Lord showed me, because so many times we can act like, well, if I'm standing up against something, like we have to act like it's not real, or like, you know what I mean?
We're
It's
puffing
like
ourselves
we're
up,
puffing
like,
ourselves up. And it's like, no, it was really the reality of this situation is what it is.
Yeah.
But the Lord then showed me David had a choice. Was he going to fix his eyes on Goliath, or was he going to look past the giant onto the God who put the stars in place and say, God, you're bigger? And it's like, I have a choice. Am I going to look at the giant that looks undefeatable, or am I going to look at God who says he can?
Yeah.
And so that was the picture to say, oh God, there's peace in that, knowing that not only God can, but he will. And so he met me in that place to say, like, there can be peace in that situation in every battle. And I think that points to what you're saying is like, it doesn't mean that there's any less of a battle. It just means that the God who is on our side is bigger than the giant that we stand before. And so many times we want, like, I mean, just exactly what you said. The world tells us that in order to have peace, everything else has to disappear.
The church tells us that too.
Yeah.
Right? Which is sad. Like,
it can.
There's something wrong with you if you don't have the faith to say to your situation, peace be still, and it doesn't get still. What's wrong with your faith? If you have faith to move a mountain, why can't you get this? It says in the Bible, if you have we Christianese people out of their faith all the time, because we look at the thing that's going on as the problem, or the thing that God is doing, or the result of our faith, or whatever,
or a lack thereof,
or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
And the reality is always completely different with God. The reality is that he brings those things to show who he is.
Yeah.
And if we're trying to, I keep saying this because we've just been through James, but James has just been this amazing book of the Bible for me that we just went through and teaching it and hearing it and everything. It says in the beginning of James, and I'm paraphrasing y'all, I'm not the guy that knows Bible verses by heart. So please, if I say this incorrectly, it's Christmas. Give me grace. He says, don't find it weird or that there's these fiery trials that suddenly come upon you, right? Like, but ask for wisdom from above and God will give it generously. What that is alluding to is that these tests, God, and it even says a little bit later in maybe chapter 2, where it says God does not tempt, but he tests, right? And so God is sending these things in our life. And like, what for you? And I'm going to blow your mind because I remember a testimony you gave. Pause on that. But God is sending these tests to you or to us, and we're praying away the thing that God is bringing into our life.
Right.
And he won't remove it because you're praying it away. I taught the youth this. I said, stop praying the difficulties out of your life. Stop praying that these things wouldn't happen. Start praying for the endurance. Start praying for the wisdom on how to move through it. And in the wisdom, there are some things that maybe aren't from him, right? We can see that the enemy has control over some of the elements of earth. Like,
let's not be double-minded.
Let's not be double-minded.
Yeah.
God, is this from you or not? God will tell you. But in that, it's like, then stop trying to pray away the very thing that God is bringing in your life to refine you and to take you in. And what I'm getting back to, here is this. I remember a prayer time that we had. It was a week of renewal. So it was the one in the middle of the year. And we had just got done reading Exodus. And you said that what God was revealing to you is stop despising your miracle, or the very thing that you're walking through is your miracle, and it's
that you were in the midst of a miracle.
That's it. You're in the midst of the miracle.
Yeah.
And yet, sometimes all we see is the things that are around us that. Like for them, it was the waves, and like imagine the picture you gave is like, imagine they're walking through and they see the waves around them. They see the wind that's blowing. They see the
chariots coming
behind them. And we're like, God, and you see this through that whole story. We can't go too far down there because we could talk about story after story. But the point you were saying is the very blessing, the very promise, the very thing that you were asking God for showed up this way, and he's walking you through it. And yet you're despising it and you're trying to pray it away, and you're not like,
because it's terrifying.
God gave you a godly man.
Yeah.
You had 2 boys, right? Like this is things that there were promises that God was giving to you. It's your miracle, because I know some more of your background. It's a miracle. And yet here you are crying at the sink. The reality is it's tough because he's stripping your identity. He's putting you in a position that this wasn't what you thought you were signing up for. Because I wanted that, but I didn't realize what I had to go through to get my blessing, to walk my blessing out, or my promise out. And this is for everybody. What you're saying is like, these storms, these things that you're going through is part of the process of him getting you to the promised land, to getting you to what he's spoken over your life. And yet we're trying to pray them away. Like, God, stop this storm. Stop. No, you're Jehovah Shalom. Give me peace in the middle of the storm. Let me see the God that's bigger than the giant. Let me see the peace that is before me.
It. Well, and I'm glad you brought it up, because it was like in the midst of the miracle was that word, another word in that season. And even that, right? Like we can despise being in a situation, but God was so active. I was going through my journal and it felt like God's revealing these big things. It feels like month after month, like these big words. And in the midst of the miracle, that full picture, right? They're having to walk through the parted seas and the waves could crash down at any moment. But did they even realize that they were going through on dry land?
Yeah.
And
wow.
That was part of what God revealed.
They're so busy up here.
They're so busy looking at what could fall apart that they're not seeing that the provision of the Lord is that they're not getting stuck in the wet sand, that their wheels and their wagons and their children and their cattle are not getting tripped up.
We're talking almost 2 million people. probably more than 2 million people.
Probably, right? With kids and women and all the things.
So just that alone with the pressure on the ground, think about that.
And they're not getting tripped up and they're not getting stuck. Do they even realize the provision of the Lord? And so then the way that even ties in is that as I walked this through and trusted the Lord through obedience, through the obedience of coming home, through the obedience of submitting to God and casting my cares upon him and all of the things, through that, then I start seeing the Lord's provision. And then just a few months after I stay home, Sebastian gets an 11% raise.
Which is unheard of.
Which is
most raises
3%,
are 3
yeah.
3 to 4%.
So you're like, okay, God, wow.
And I don't know if we were supposed to let everybody know that.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, his coworkers.
No, it's fine. He's well beyond.
Okay.
But you're like, okay, God, I know that's you because it's not normal. It's not the normal 3%.
Okay.
And it's not enough. So Lord, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And then he provides a roof. And you're like, okay, God. Now, was provision what he was teaching me? Yes and no. He was building the character to match the assignment. He's teaching me peace. How do I stand in peace, whether it looks like bills are going to get paid or not? How do I stand in peace, whether or not it feels like I'm getting ran over like a doormat? How do I stand in peace, whether or not I feel like I see my husband, right? All of these things.
Yeah.
He's teaching me peace. But provision was one of the outcomes of obedience. And then that entire next year, as we walked this out, I thought I was only going to be home until the end of the year. Well, silly me, because here I am, four years later,
still at home.
Still at home. But basically, the Lord within a year replaces my entire salary that I had lost plus some. And you realize, and one of the
You could have sabotaged that too, because you could have went and gotten a job.
I thought about it.
Really?
And there were times,
'cause that's what makes sense.
Yeah. And there were times that I cried because it would have been easier to go find a job and go to work.
Yeah.
It would have been, and this is, I love my children, but it would have been easier to have somebody else raise them.
Yeah.
It would have been easier.
Yeah.
You know, you see what I'm saying? Like to reassign some of the position that the Lord was calling me to.
Absolutely.
But the Lord gave me, and this just ties back into, I think, what we were saying earlier. He gave me this verse in Psalms. It's Psalms 18, 31 through 36. For who is God besides the Lord? And who is the rock except our God? Is it God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure? He makes my feet like the feet of deer. He causes me to stand on the heights. He trains my hands for battle, and my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You make your saving help my shield, and your right hand sustains me. Your help has made me great. You provide a broad path for my feet so that my ankles do not give way. And part of what he was teaching me during this time is exactly what we have said. It's not praying the situation away. You realize in this psalm here that it's, Lord, strengthen me. As I obey you, strengthen my steps. As I obey you, strengthen my arms. As I obey you and take the steps, you train my hands for battle.
Yeah.
It's an equipping that we see through this Psalms.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part, is that so many times we can have a mindset of, oh, why me?
Yeah.
Instead of the, oh, Lord, what are you doing through this?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if we can change our mindset through that, it moves us from a victim mentality into a victor mentality. Because it doesn't mean it was any less hard. But now I'm looking at it through the lens of like, Lord, what are you wanting to do through this season? What are you wanting to change in my life? What are you wanting to change in my family's life? It's a whole total perspective shift.
Let me ask you, I find in situations in these moves that God takes us through, and these times where we're being stretched, or Watchman Nee says it's the discipline of the Holy Spirit, where God is disciplining us, and then it's not like a father who's being outrageous to his kids, but it's like this disciplining of like, he's trying to raise us up. He's trying to increase our capacity for things. So in these seasons, our prayer changes. It should. Your prayer time should.
It has to.
It has to.
Yeah.
It's like your prayer time needs to change. Your worship time, your reading word. What kind of change? Like, how did you, during this time where he's teaching about this Jehovah Shalom, how he's your God of peace. What did it look like for your personal prayer altar? Like how did you worship? How did you pray? How did you read the Bible?
Yeah. You know, I met with Pastor Mark several times over this ginormous transition. And he said to me, he goes, Brianna, there are times in life where you maintain your prayer life, and that's great. It'll get you through the ups and the downs. But when you're in a battle, that's when you need to dig. You cannot just maintain your prayer life when you're in the midst of a battle. When you're in the midst of a miracle, you have to dig deeper. He goes, because the regular maintaining is not going to be enough sustenance to pull you all the way through the miracle, the battle, the big thing. And so I took that to heart, and it was like, okay, well, then that means I have to go deeper and dig deeper, and I can't just have my daily devotional and think that that will sustain me as I'm letting the Lord rewrite everything about my entire life. And so for me, during that time, it was extended times in worship. And so I mentioned a song earlier, it was Peace by Hillsong Young and Free. It was like you almost let that, it's like that heart of worship where you're letting the words wash over you. And part of what hit me is like, there are lyrics in that song. It's, there's a peace that's beyond all understanding. May it ever set my heart at ease. What anxiety fails to remember is that peace is a promise you keep. And it was like, as I was praying and you feel like your thoughts are swirling and you're trying to fight for peace, you don't know how.
Right.
But having that song wash over when anxiety feels like it's bubbling up, it was almost like they were singing that promise.
Right.
And then it was like my heart could come into agreement to that place of, oh yeah, Lord, you promise.
Right.
So you will be the one who comes in and provide. You are the one who called me to take this step. Therefore, you will provide. You cannot fail. You never fail. You know, the other thing, it was like almost like that God who I was calling out to.
Right.
And in that time in my life, it was like, you're my strong tower. I run to you when it feels like the winds and the waves are crashing. Because you realize that strong tower, it's like, I imagine almost like that lighthouse, that safe haven, when it feels like the waves are just going to knock you clear into the ocean. And it's like, but he takes the beating. He's the one who takes the brunt of what feels like every hit.
Yeah.
And it was like, it almost like letting your heart run into that place of like, Lord, I don't know how you're going to do it, but you promised to. And so it's like you give yourself in worship to a place where you can agree. And it's not throwing those prayers up just willy-nilly, but it's like you're trying to get your heart to settle down. You know, there was another song, there were two songs, Peace, and then the other one was Quiet by Elevation Rhythm. And so the lyrics say, I don't need to know what comes next. Tomorrow's in your hands. I can trust you with my future because you're already there.
Wow.
And so it's like, even letting that like wash over me with all the fears. I don't know how my future is going to happen now. I don't know how any of my dreams are going to come true. I don't know what you have for me.
Yeah.
It's like, I've just been pulled out of ministry. You feel useless.
Yeah.
And so it's even that, it's like, Lord, I even give you my future.
Yeah.
And it's like letting those two songs wash over me, Tony, it restructured the way that I saw God. It was really saying, you can have my future then.
Yeah.
And it really was submitting every thought to Christ.
Yeah. It's so good. And before we wrap up, because we're getting to that mark, I just wanted to say, like, what we just said is so important for everybody who's out there. Anyone who's going through something, is your times have to change with the Lord during the seasons that you're in. God has seasons. There's 4 seasons in a year practically, but in our lives we have seasons. We go through things. Yeah. You have to change the season of prayer to match the season that you're in. And I love the fact that I love what you just said about this part of these peace songs. It's because it's speaking to, like, God's already waiting for you. He's just saying, walk this through knowing that I'm going to be there. And so, guys, Merry Christmas. I hope that this was an encouraging, a little bit fun and quirky in the beginning. I hope this was a good podcast for you. I'm just really thankful, again, at this time of the year where we have a hopeful future, because Jesus and God came down, intersected us here on earth. And I hope you have a good Christmas. I hope you have a good holiday season. If you need anything in your you're part of our church, even if you're not, just reach out to us. We would love to talk to you. We'd love to encourage you. We'd love to get you plugged in. And Brianna, thank you for being vulnerable.
Yeah.
I know that's not easy speaking about those things because some people will hear that and think some sort of way, but it's the testimonies, the reality of how we're walking through things that break down barriers and bring breakthrough. So
Amen.
Merry Christmas
Merry
to you.
Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
And one last thing, my last favorite Christmas movie.
What?
Die Hard. 1 and 2. If you complain about that, put it in the comments. I believe they're Christmas
I knew
movies.
you were just waiting to say it.
Yes. So Merry Christmas. Do all the things you're supposed to do. Like us, follow us, subscribe, share, talk to us in the comments. And like I said, make sure you give us 5 stars, not 4 or 3, or just don't give us stars at all. We only want 5 stars. We love you all. Until next time. Peace.
Bye.